Beautiful. We are live. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Doing
Good,
amazing.
good. Hello, everyone in the chat. We're happy you guys joined us today for this amazing interview with our wonderful host, Carly, and our special guest, Lance, and his beautiful wife, Jessie. How are you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic. Just got off the Zoom with Pace and Cody Sanchez. It was really good.
Oh, yeah. You had a good time? It was good, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Awesome. So let me go over some quick announcements. So Squad Up is around the corner, everyone. Okay. Squad Up is around the corner. April 23rd to the 25th. It's going to be a great time. During this interview in the chat, we're going to jump through the link in there. It's at squadupsummit.com. That's squadupsummit.com for more information on that to book your seats. Also, there's going to be a Vegas meetup. If you live in Las Vegas, okay, April 19th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to be held at the Charlie Frias Park. You'll have a chance to hang out with some amazing people, network, learn, have fun, upgrade your wealth, as well as upgrade your network. Okay, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be the Vegas meetup happening April 19th. Last but not least, the last announcement for the day will be WealthCom is around the corner. That's also going to be April 18th through the 20th. Now, our wonderful Pace Morby will be speaking on the 20th. So if you have time to be a part of that, that's happening at Caesar's Palace. That's also in Vegas as well. But again, Pace will be speaking on the 20th. Now, with that out the way, Carly, how's your wonderful day been?
I am so good. How are you guys? It's been great. I joined Lance and Jessie on that Zoom with Pace and Cody Sanchez. So that was a really good Zoom. How are you guys today?
We're good. We're doing really good.
Well, thank you. It's good to see you guys. Lance and Jessie are Gators and Subto students. So I get to see you guys in both communities. And you guys are moving and shaking. You guys are doing lots of stuff.
Yes.
So
we're building our team.
I'm excited to hear about it. I have no idea about it. I'm going to learn about it. Oh, no. Sorry. Are you guys? I think I have internet issues.
That's okay.
So I'm going to learn about it as we go. I hear that you got $25,000. I want to hear all about this. Was Subto deal? Was it a Gator deal? Let's start. What kind of deal was it?
It was a creative deal, right? So it's a mobile home park, our first mobile home park, not our last. We plan on buying at least one more this year. So we've been stabilizing it, but it was a creative deal that my wife found online at, what was it, mobilehomeparkstore.com. Believe it or not.
I swear that's the name of the website.
I kid you not.
I love it. Yeah. So you just went to mobile home. How did you guys? So you went to mobilehomepark.com, and then so Jessie, tell us what happened after that. I want to hear all about this.
So I just started kind of narrowing down my buy box, and found some in Texas because that's where we live, and just started calling them. I was actually able to filter the search for seller finance, and just get into negotiations with the seller, who happened to be an agent and an attorney. That was fun. And and proceeded to negotiate for roughly 8.5 months till we got to closing. This guy, being the pit bull, took the last half of that. I kind of started, but
she's the acquisitions, and I'm more the negotiating, the closing end of it. So we work really well together.
But it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had been calling on mobile home parks for a few years, and what we had found was that it's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you, can you get a loan? You can't get a loan unless you've owned a mobile home park. And, it's hard to own a mobile home park without a loan. So trying to find, that perfect storm of somebody who will do a seller finance that doesn't want 50% down.
Right. Yeah, it's those mom and pop owners that we're looking for. We have a mentor in the space, Gabe Hamill. I don't know if you know who Gabe is, but he's really well connected, knows, hangs out with Brandon Turner and those guys, but
knows Pace too.
Oh yeah, he knows Pace. But Gabe, I didn't grow up, but I lived in Eugene, Oregon with Gabe, and he was actually kind of mentored us, and we did a mastermind class, but he's the reason why we decided to take the step into this. He agreed to like help us underwrite or look at any underwriting, any deals that looked like potential deals. So it gave us the kind of the courage, right, to go after something like this. So it was 100% seller finance.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, you guys can't, we're coming from a recovering lone wolf. You can't do anything by yourself. You need those people to help underwrite, to help you do the things, the well-connected people.
Yeah.
So okay. So Jessie got it. If you guys don't know, it's tough doing a creative deal with an agent but then you add an attorney on top of it because they're very, very protective, as they should be. But it's a tough feat. So you started it, and then you started underwriting it. So tell me what happened. You guys started. Tell me how you pitched it, and how did it go? Like, were they like, I want 100% down, 75% down, or how did that go?
Pretty much. It started off with pretty high numbers all around, and so my wife is a little more timid. She's great at building that relationship up front, finding the pain point, finding the reason why they want to sell. Building a relationship with him. I have no idea, hours and hours of conversation. This is one of those guys who can just talk for 2 hours to you, and you're just like, okay, it's so once it got over to me, I went in for the negotiating. It was originally, I think it was 1.5 million he wanted. The underwriting that my wife was able to do pointed in the direction of about 1.9 or 1.7, 1.8 million, something. So it was, it was already equity in the park. So I negotiated the purchase price down. He wanted 20% down to start, and I was able to get it down to a 10% entry, which was amazing for a mobile home park. I was really happy about that, excited. And then there was a few other things too. We were able to negotiate towards the end of the deal. Our capital partner came in and very detailed, looked at the numbers, and were like, hey, can you see if you can get interest only payments for a year? And I was like, oh boy. Okay, I'll try that. And so I went in, I was like, whatever, I've got nothing to lose. But before that happened, I offered him principal only payments, right? I didn't say, hey, zero interest. I went in for the kill like Pace teaches, principal only payments. And he ghosted us for 2 weeks. Like, he got pissed. Basically was offended by that offer. Yeah. And so we finally started talking to him again, and he's like, he told us straight up, he's like, that was insulting. Good old boy, he had a heavy Southern draw. He's like, that was insulting. This thing's a cash cow. He kept saying over and over and over. What's up, Keola? Keola and I
hey, Keola.
We're partners.
Keola's amazing.
A co-living deal right now.
Wonderful.
Dude's awesome.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, super cool dude. But yeah,
so tell us sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Because there's newbies here. What is a principal only deal or offer? Will you just kind of break that down a little bit, and why would that be insulting to a buyer?
Yeah, do you want to get into this part?
Yeah, no problem. So principal only payment is essentially offering them to finance you like the bank without making any interest. And of course, the reason banks do financing is because they can make interest, which is an extremely lucrative business. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit of a backhanded offer, because we said, hey, we'll offer to buy this park, but we don't want you making any additional money. We'll just give you, principal only. So our payment would completely go towards the principal balance.
But an offer nonetheless. An
offer nonetheless. And it gave us at least a negotiating point to where we could put our baseline, and we put our baseline at 0. Mm-hmm. So, instead of going out the gate offering too much and then realizing that you had maybe shot yourself in the foot, mm-hmm. we tried to go from offering too little, which didn't work well. But real quick, and Lance mm-hmm. and I, our brains work a little bit differently, so I'm going to go backwards. We started the underwriting kind of based on what the park was making monthly. So for some of these newbies, and that's kind of how we figured out like what the cap rate was and where it was going to make sense to put in an offer. The problem with it just happens, right? The problem with it taking so long to negotiate is the numbers that we had originally ran changed by the time we got to the closing table because there had been about 6 months. So there were vacancies that weren't in my original underwriting. So I love our capital partner so much. Patricia, if you're on here, we love you so much, girl. You're amazing. She has a background in accounting. She's a unicorn agent down in Florida. Call her, little plug. But she was able to help us kind of go back through and restructure everything once we got closer to the closing table because the financials had changed. And that's really when she was like, hey, you know, we need to take a new look at this because there have been some vacancies. We need interest only payments for a year. You know, we need to have him put $10,000 into an escrow account for repairs because our park is in West Texas where the ground is clay and it is all septic tanks. Which a lot of mobile home parks are. And that's something, you know, also needing to be done during the due diligence phase. We learned a lot on this.
We're still learning, actually. We learned a lot and we're still learning, right? We had to fire our first property management company because they were horrible. And, but anyways, I won't get into that quite yet. We don't have to get into all that, but yeah, it's been a lot of it's a roller coaster ride, like you know, investing in general. There's ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and so it's been a great experience so far. So
it is definitely a roller coaster ride. And if you guys think it's easy, it may look easy on the outside, but it's an emotional situation on the inside, especially for 8 months. Like it's just like you're going back and forth. And I want to ask this, what was their motivation to sell for a seller finance thing? Like for any deal, especially a seller finance or a creative deal, it's always good to find their motivation. Had they tried to sell it on market? Why were they willing to take a look at a low down payment with interest only payments? There has to be some pain there.
Yeah. I think well, now that we really know, I think there's an underlying truth to the whole thing. But you know, the tenants are a little difficult, right, in the area. But he needed to take care of his aging mother. You know, that was the biggest thing, and he wanted to be closer to his son who is going to college as well. I believe was the thing. Was that right?
That's what he said, but he didn't move. It was mainly for his mom. It was mainly for his mom.
But we really found out the truth. Like that was what he said initially, right? But
so yeah, it goes back to Pace saying, you know, buyers are liars, sellers are worse, and agents are of the devil. And so we need a fourth layer because
we love you, agents. Not really.
My seller was an agent and the attorney. So however, you know, we can change phases.
Here's what we found though. He built a horrible culture in this place is what it is. People, and we're still trying to cultivate a better culture and just getting people to pay on time has been, you know, a chore, right? So he just would let people pay whenever they wanted. And, you know, he didn't have any structure. We had no idea until we jumped in and we were getting paid on, you know, the first day of the month. I was like, what the hell's going on? So anyway, he was very lackadaisical. So.
And I think that's what you'll find. I think my belief on why he was willing to seller finance it is a couple of things. He's been a real estate agent for a long time, so the concept was more familiar to him. But I also feel like there's a sweet spot. I think with any asset class, and it's a variable, but I think there's a sweet spot where it's not big enough for like the hedge funds and the heavy hitters to come in and buy it outright. And it's too small to actually cash flow. So there ends up being this interesting dynamic for a park, you know, that has a decent price tag. I mean, a $1.5 million park for our first park was a decent size. And it's just that sweet spot that we kind of found ourselves in with his park. And it had been on the market a while, you know, I think easily over 6 months, and he had dropped the price a handful of times. There's a number of factors that I think went into that, but I ultimately think that he was just like, hey, you know, let's give it a go. And it's kind of like Pace talks about, like, it's a safer way to go the seller finance route. Or something creative, because if you do not perform, you know, they take the property back. We obviously don't want that. Our partner doesn't want that. We're pushing through, we're making it work, but it ends up being a safe avenue because he's in first position, you know?
Yeah. Not only that, but he's saving a bunch of money on taxes. If you would have got a huge chunk of change, he would have paid 30% plus in capital gains taxes. So, I mean, it makes sense. He's a pretty savvy investor.
Yeah.
But I did want to say too, real quick, he originally wanted a 10% interest, right? It was like a commercial loan. Yeah. And so that's why he was like weirded out on us, like short-circuited. So we settled on 7.5, which I wasn't happy about, but I could not get him to go down anymore.
But that's less than market for a commercial loan. We were happy about it.
Yeah. But
we have a 5-year balloon, and then we put in at 5 years, we could potentially renegotiate for another 2.
Yeah, he wanted to do 3 years, and we were just like, no way. It just didn't make sense. So
time flies too quick for 3 years.
Right.
Well, yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta get people start paying and stuff to get it organized. Yeah. So
well, we forgot too the acquisition fee. That was the whole. I forgot to talk about that part. I totally skipped over that.
What's the acquisition fee?
Yeah, we were able to make an acquisition fee on this thanks to our amazing friend in Dallas, Vina Jetty, right? She taught us to put an acquisition fee on for, multifamily. And this is in the realm, right? It's not quite multifamily, but it's a larger asset. So I told my wife early on, I was like, we've got to put an acquisition fee. Vina's told us we have to do it. We got to do it. We have to make money on this thing up front, And my wife was like, well, what do you think? Like 10? I was like, no, I'm thinking like $25,000, $30,000. And she goes, oh, we can't do that. I said, like hell, we can't do that. Yeah. Like, man, we put 6 months, 7 months into this deal, countless hours. And it just made a ton of sense for me. So we put that fee in there. And really, we had 2 potential capital partners on it. The first one wanted 70% of the deal. And I was like, and we ended up, settling with a 50-50 split, on it with our capital partner. She brought in $200K to the deal for the down payment. And it was amazing. So we put that acquisition fee, and she did ask about it. I just was straight up. I was like, look, we spent 100 hours. I have no idea how much time negotiating and doing all the work on this thing. So it's just covering all of our time that we put in. And she was like, okay. It was really that simple, as long as you have that posture and you're confident in yourself and what you've done, I think everybody should put an acquisition fee on their deal.
So let's go back on this because we jumped straight to acquisition fee. Jesse and you guys got it under contract. You got him down to principal only payments. So it's with the 7% interest rate. So they're not paying the interest yet.
Yes.
Or correct. Interest only. Mm-hmm. So then you got it. And then, so you were telling me, let's go back. You have partners in the deal. You have, so did you bring what are the partners that you brought in on this deal to acquire this?
Just one capital partner.
Perfect. So, and then, so you have one capital, and what did they bring in? How much did they bring into the deal?
Yes, she brought in a total of $200,000.
Nice.
And that was a war chest. That included the acquisition fee and
the down payment. Yeah.
I think that was everything. So we had about $15,000 in a war chest, plus that $10,000 escrow account. So just in case we needed it. And thank God, because we had some issues with septic tanks, like within the first month. And I was like, holy shit. Like, thank God we did that. Right. Hey. And
so for those of you, I love this question about what's the acquisition fee. I want to get to that in just a second, but I want to say something of a war chest. Will you guys tell what a war chest is? Roughly 25%? What is a war chest for? What does that mean when you're an investor?
So a war chest is you putting away right out the gate at acquisition when you buy the property, and then moving forward your monthly payments, you're taking a percentage of that profit and you're putting it in a savings account because something's going to break. Not if, something is going to break. Our septic started breaking right away because we purchased this in November and Texas gets cold. I moved here for sunshine. You wouldn't think it, but if you live in Texas, you know that we got
in the winter. It's cold.
And so right out the gate, you know, we're digging new leach fields at $5,500 a pop. So it's crucial to have a war chest, because this is, you know, an asset. The reason it depreciates, people, is because it breaks down. It's like your car, you're using it, people are living in it, people are flushing their toilets. So it's imperative that when you're doing your underwriting, you're making sure that you're accounting for taking money out. And then once you buy the property, actually take that step and take that money out and put it into a savings account.
Super important.
Because when something breaks, you need to have those reserves, and you don't want to be, you know, having a snafu moment at that time. And do it always. You continue to do the war chest regardless, as long as you have the asset.
Yes. I love that. It's so important, because people don't realize something is going to break. And Lance and Jessie were so smart that they put this up. So they're like, it's not if it's going to break, it's when it's going to break. And sure enough, how long did it take until you guys had the septic issues, until you acquired it? How long was it?
It was less than 30 days.
Right.
We blew through that 10,000 probably within 30 days in the escrow account.
Yeah.
Just in repairs right out the gate.
Talk about, you know, some butt puckering, right? I was like, oh boy, what did we get ourselves into? Holy crap. You know, did we screw up? You know, you start getting all that fear and doubt starts creeping in. You're like, oh, what have we done? Like, is this going to keep happening? And then I just, you know, you got to squash it out and go, no, just let's focus on the action steps to move forward and the solutions here. And thankfully we were able to take care of it.
Yep. Okay, now let's get to I just wanted to clear up those things. Let's talk about Facebook user wants to know, what's the acquisition fee? Vina Jetty, you guys should go follow her. She's great. She knows $1 billion in multifamily real estate. Told you to do this. Will you just break down what an acquisition fee is for the viewers and what that means and how much you made?
Want me to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna let her go.
I love it. I get a little nervous, but so an acquisition fee, and it can really be done on any property. But let me at least start with this. Lance and I really believe in transparency. We made sure that we showed our partner all of our numbers. We show all of our partners all of our numbers. It's written right there, and we made sure that the deal could hold the amount. We didn't hear some, you know, Zoom where somebody made an $80,000 acquisition fee and decided to stick that onto the next property that we acquired. We ran our numbers first, and then we made sure that the acquisition made sense for the deal, because every deal is different. Just want to put that out there so that everybody understands it's a variable, but make sure your deal is healthy. Because the health of the deal is where the gold is, right? You want this long-term, not just the payday at the front end. But an acquisition fee is essentially you're getting paid for your time. These are not quick deals. This is not a 1-week deal. It's not a quick wholesale. These in multifamily, which a mobile home park is, they can take, it took 8 months for ours. Sometimes multifamily can take 6 months to a year to close. Meanwhile, you're doing that. You're underwriting, you're doing inspections, you're doing your due diligence. There are a number of different ways that you are putting in work, and sometimes upfront finances into a project prior to closing. EMD, some of these projects are taking larger EMDs. We had to pay for inspections. There was a number of different things that we had to put our capital into upfront.
Sure.
That you get the acquisition fee, and to even take it a step further, some of these acquisition fees that you're getting that are paying you for your time, keep in mind, this might be the only paycheck you get for the first 6 months or year of stabilizing this asset. With a lot of large multifamily that are bringing in multiple investors, sometimes it takes them that long to get in, to fix up these units, to bring them to the occupancy level that they need. And they, need to be able to be compensated for their time. So that's truly what an acquisition fee is. It's for the work that you're putting in. So just keep that in mind.
Correct. And I wanted to drop something in too. We saw Vina. Where did we see? Oh, we went to her multi-fi training in Dallas recently, right? She's doing her multi-fi trainings now, her coaching. And we went over to support and just go see her, visit her, and take a look. And And she pulled me aside. She goes, Lance, she's like, you're the only person in our entire Facebook community that's put an acquisition fee into a deal. Can you come and speak on a podcast with me? I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I couldn't believe it.
So awesome.
And she let me speak at the luncheon, at the VIP luncheon for a few minutes briefly, to tell people about what we were able to do. And I was super stoked about it. It was really, really cool. I couldn't believe now that nobody else had done it yet. Wow. That was pretty cool. To know that we were on the right track, so.
Yes. And so that's where the $25,000 in the pocket came from. That was from your acquisition fee. Mm-hmm. So I just want to recap this. I know we don't have that much time.
Yeah.
Why were they successful? They were smart with their numbers. They underwrote, they negotiated, they didn't take no for an answer probably, or like, what did they want down? What, 10% interest?
Oh, it was a 10%,
50% down or something? Yeah.
20%.
Yeah. So they kept at it. It took 8 months, you guys. They did not give up. They brought in partners. They set themselves up for success by looking at the numbers, underwriting the deal, bringing in a capital partner, and listening to the people that are ahead of them, like the Vina Jetties in the world, saying, money, because you just spent 8 months on this, and it's not going to start cash flowing the second you buy it. In fact, you're going to probably be spending money on it. So they got the war chest. They wrote their numbers. It's all about relationships and learning. Because didn't you guys say you're still learning as you go? You just.
Oh, yeah.
We will forever be students.
Every day. Yeah, 1%, right? We're trying to get, we aspire to get 1% better every day. We're always reading and learning and on these Zooms. And so it's imperative. It really is.
You guys are just doing everything. I see you guys in Gator. I see you guys in Subto. You've got multifamily now, like a mobile home park. So what's next for you guys? What are you guys looking?
Yeah.
How can people watching connect with you? What are you looking for? If somebody wants to do deals with Lance and Jessie, you guys need to connect with them. And the best way to connect with someone is come with something they need. Lead with value. Yeah. Don't say, hey, can you help me on a deal I don't have? Be like, I have this deal. So what are you guys looking for? What's your next big venture? How can people help you and connect with you?
I love that. So, I'm pretty well known as being a connector in both communities. So connecting, if you need help finding funds or if you need help dispoing a deal, I might have someone in the area you're looking. Chances are pretty good for that. Also, our main focus is purchasing co-living deals. So we're looking for larger deals, 2,300 plus square foot, no HOAs, ample parking, no pools, 2,300 square foot, like I said, or 80s, 90s, early 2000s, right? So we're not looking for those nice newer homes. Yeah. We want the homes that are more compartmentalized for the co-living and the pad split deals. So we just furnished our first one in Lake Charles over the weekend. We wanted to furnish the first one on our own, and I'm glad we did it one time because we're not doing it again. So we got, you know what I mean?
True.
The first day was fun. Day 2, I was like, screw it, this sucks. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't miss, manual labor like I thought I did. But we've got our second one under contract that we're raising capital for as we speak as well.
Yes.
So.
That is so exciting, you guys. I just put something together for a Airbnb, and I was like, never again. You live and you learn, and you're like, definitely worth not doing that, paying for it.
Seriously,
so it really is. And you guys, you guys are always learning. How can people reach out to you? Jessie, how can people reach out to you on social?
Jessie's a hermit crab, so you're going to have to go through me to find her. I ask her all the time, can I put your Instagram on? She's like, no, don't put my. So you can find me at Lance Riggen on Instagram, Lance Riggen on Facebook, and then you just look up my name on TikTok. But those are my main areas. Facebook,
the way to my heart is a crumble cookie. If you send me one, I will give you my socials.
Write that down. Write that down, everyone. So crumble cookies. Oh, I love it. It was so good talking to you guys. I know we only have these are not very long. I'm so excited. Please keep posting. I love watching you guys just kill it day after day. You're on to something else. So
thank you.
You guys team up with these people. They're going places. They're great people. They're go-givers, wonderful people. And yeah, thank you for being here. Am I going to see you guys at Squad Up?
Yes, I sure hope we do. I mean, we're going.
Squad up.
So I just say something really quick? I just wanted to say, just to let everyone know how grateful we are for Pace, for Carly, for Jade, for everybody backstage, and everybody, Derek, and everybody working on the behind the scenes. We're so grateful for the community and everything we're able to do. Like, I love pouring into people and helping people out. You know, we do it every single day, and it's like it's something that's really amazing to be able to do this for a living, what we're doing, and do more and more things for more people. You know, it's just an amazing experience. It's been an amazing opportunity. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody.
Oh, I love that.
Lance. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you to Derek, to everyone behind the scenes. Derek is just thrown into this, you guys, and Derek is doing an amazing job. Hallie, it takes a whole team to make these happen. Yeah. Send everybody out there, tell them thank you. There's Hallie. Tell Hallie thank you. You guys could not have these without these people and so many more people behind the scenes. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. And by the way, I'll see you guys at Squad Up Summit as well. I'll be there as well as Hallie. So we're gonna have a blast.
Me too.
It's gonna be gorgeous. I can't wait.
Oh my God. We need to have a group picture.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna be hunting down Lance. Like, Lance, I need your selfie, bro.
Do it, bro. Hey, don't be detoured by the crowds around me. I've had people tell me that. Oh, there's so many people around you. I'm like, still come up. Some say hi, man. Don't worry about that,
man. I'll do that, man. Absolutely. Wow, this is a lot of fun. You guys take care. This is great.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Have a great evening.
See you later.
Next week.
See you.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby.